Hey beginners, Mrs. Flowers here. Before spring break, we embarked on a new kind of note, an eighth note. What we're going to do today is we're going to continue learning about the eighth note and learning some new songs. So open your books up to page 20 and 21. If you're using this lesson, it means you've accomplished the first 4 songs on page 20. And we're going to pick up right where we left off, which would be song number 70, Hot Cross Buns. And as we were talking in our lessons, one thing that we noticed about this is that there are 4 measures, and out of the 4, 3 of them are identical. So what you have in your first measure, F sharp, E, and D, repeats itself in measure 2 and measure 4. And then we noticed that the third measure is the only one that is different and unique. And that's the measure with the eighth notes. So as you're playing measure 3, we talked about playing all those eighth notes in the bottom half of your bow, so near the frog. And you would count them. Here's an example of measure 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's all at the frog. They're all very small bows because the notes are going quite fast. And you have 4 Ds in a row and then 4 Es. Let's go ahead and play Hot Cross Buns together. And we're going to do the bow lift and take the repeat at the end. So get your F sharp set to go. Make sure your first finger is on the tape as well. Place your bow on the D string and check the wrist to make sure it's not doing that. Nice straight wrist. And let's count ourselves in for Hot Cross Buns. 1 and 2. Start with full bows. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and freeze. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and lift, set. 1 and 2 and 3 and freeze. And 1 and 2 and 3 and freeze. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. You're done. And gently lift the bow off. Good. Next, A Clair de Lune, the last song on this page. We're going to go ahead and analyze this one a little bit before we play. As promised, I told you I would expand more in the video upon our lesson that we had together. If you look at the first measure and compare it to the third measure, you will notice that they are identical. If you take the second measure and compare it to the last measure, you will notice that they are also identical. So if you can learn measure 1 and 2 successfully, you know the whole song. What I do want to note is that you do have a bow lift between measures 2 and 3 over the rest. Now let's take a look at the actual notes themselves. Let's name some notes here. Okay, so I see D, 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 E, F sharp, E, keep going, D, F sharp, E, E, D. And then you have the bow lift with the rest, and then measures 3 and 4 are the same. So I'm looking at the tempo marking. The tempo is something new. It was introduced right before Hot Cross Buns, and you'll see 3 of them there. You'll see an allegro, a moderato, and an andante. An andante means you need to choose a slow tempo when playing the song. I think that's perfect because I think the song is a little easier when played slowly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count out pretty slowly so that we can successfully play these eighth notes. So when you're ready, let's count in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and lift, set. 1 and 2 and and let's just release the note. No need to go back to the frog. So my recommendation on this song is, if that is too hard for you on the first try, I would put the bow down and I would pluck it. So you would go the same tempo. And while I'm bowing, you can rewind the video. And while I'm bowing, you can pluck along with, like this. Okay. And get maybe this hand all figured out, then add the bow arm back in. Let's take a look at another song. Next on your list of things to do for your homework is the next page, 72. We have a rhythm rap. Now, also in the lesson, we noticed that there were some similarities in this rhythm rap that would help you to learn the song faster. Take a look at measure 2. And you will notice that it is the rhythm that you learned on the previous page from song 66. Same goes with the last measure. Now, so you already know 2 measures. You know how to play them. Let's take a look at the first measure. That one's different. You haven't had that one yet. And I see, rhythmically, I see 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you're thinking about Takadimi or Taz and TTs from when you were, a little younger in general music class, it would go ta, ti, 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 ta. Translation to counting: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Translation to bowing, it would be, I'm just going to air bow, full, tip, 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 full. So you want to use just a little bit for the 8th notes. Now take a look at your third measure, and you will see that the third measure is the same as the first measure. So you already know measures 2 and 4, and we just worked on measure 1, which helps us with measure 3. So I think we've got this. So if you need to clap and count it or to pluck it, you do that as many times as you need to until you feel comfortable trying it with the bow. I'm going to play with the bow, and I'm going to choose open A. Hand on the upper bout for this one. 72. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Full, tip, 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 full. Frog, 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 full bow. Bow lift, repeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. You're done. All right, good. Next for homework is 74. We're skipping down to the next rhythm rap. And the new concept in this song is the time signature. The time signature has changed from 4/4 to 2/4. So when you're counting, you don't need to count up to 4. You're simply going to count 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. And if you look really carefully at the measures, they look really small compared to your other measures, and it's because they only have 2 beats in them. We're going to play this rhythm rap right off the bat with very little explanation. I'm going to choose open D. I'm going to play full bows when I see quarter notes, and the 8th notes are going to be played at the frog. And I'm only going to count 2 beats. Join me. Hand on the upper bout, open D. 1 and 2 and 1 and ready, go. 1 and 2 and 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 1 and done. Okay. I hope that was easy for you. I like that one. It's pretty simple. We're going to play one more, 75. And if you look very carefully, the rhythm in 75 matches the rhythm that we just played in 74. All the quarter notes and the eighth notes all line up in the same places. You still have 2 beats per measure. What you don't have in the first one that you just played were fingered notes. And in 2x2, number 75, we have some fingered notes. So let's go ahead really quickly and name the notes. When I name them, and you can do so with me, please, I'm going to do so in like time or in rhythm. So it goes like this. Ready? And say the names. D, D, F sharp, F sharp, A, G, G, F sharp, F sharp, E, E, G, G, F sharp, E, E, D, rest. Now, if you want to clap and count it, or if you would like to pluck it, those are excellent strategies to getting to the bow eventually. Right now, I'm just going to play with the bow. 75, your choice. If you're ready to jump in with the bow, you may do so. Or while I'm bowing, you can pluck. Start with open D. 1 and 2 and 1 and ready, go. 1 and 2 and 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 1. Done. Good. I think they called the song 2x2 because if you look, you have 2 of every note. There's never a single note. There is at the end. But all the other notes, they're doubled up. You have 2 Ds to start, and then 2 F sharps. Even the eighth notes have been doubled up. A, G, G. So it's 2x2, and there's 2 beats per measure. And so I would say the theme for that song is all about the number 2. Thank you so much for allowing me to elaborate on the lesson that we had on this with a follow-up video. Practice these songs with the video. If you have further questions that this video didn't address, please email me. And good luck to you.